Welcome, everybody, to the sixth and final episode of the Season 9 RBN Podcast. Today we will be discussing the World Series, but first let me introduce myself and the co-host. I am aschlemmer, and I'm here with co-commissioner vxParker.
Hello, hello, hello.
And Mount Adams Knights team owner, vxAlex.
What's going on?
So, following the championship series, we have our final two. The Knights beat the Aces in a close 5-game series. 3-2, obviously. And then the Cougars beat the Spartans, surprisingly, in 4 games. 3-1. What was y'all's impressions and thoughts on those series?
Well, I thought it was a well-played series, but I knew they would have to play ahead to really have a chance at winning that series. They just fell behind, and they just didn't look like the same team that we saw beat, like, MAK. And, of course, they beat you guys a few times, but they just didn't look like the same team when they fell behind.
And which series was that in reference to?
Beat you guys once, right?
Was this for NAS or for Aces?
NAS, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like, they just had to play ahead, and they just didn't.
Yeah.
Especially once they lost their best player because of suspension. And really, the Aces played a solid series as well. It was a great series. It just came down to 5, and
a lot of people criticize Bag for playing Game 5 just then instead
I
of
would have
waiting
myself.
for Carm.
Yeah.
But honestly, I really can see where he's coming from. He kind of he felt the momentum coming from Game 4, and that game was down to the wire. It could have gone either way. Game 5.
We just didn't know how to hit.
This has probably been the closest set of championship series that I've ever seen in the RBC. The biggest margin of victory in the Cougar series was a 4-1 victory by NAS. All of the Cougars games were won by a single or 2 runs. And then the biggest margin of victory in the MAK series was a 4-0 victory by MAK. Everything else was this is unheard of.
Amazing. It's great. It's great.
It's very competitive. Star system is working, especially with the very, very good teams. It's bringing everyone way closer together in terms of skill. What else is there about the championship series?
I think that in the MAK Aces series, there was I thought it was personally that was going to be like the thing that was going to get the team who won that series over. But it was really more hitting, I think. Sure, the games are pretty close, but there were a lot more runs scored than I thought it would be 1-0 every game.
Yeah, and it's personally surprising to me to see the ML matchups lower scoring than the RL matchups, just because throughout the season the RL has been known for low scoring games. And for the highest number of runs for a single team to score in the ML to be lower than the RL is shocking to me, honestly.
Yeah, it's just a totally different brand of baseball in those different divisions, whatever you call them. But
yeah,
it was like an outlier.
It kind of
it was interesting to see. Yeah, because I thought the ML was going to be an extremely exciting series. It was, but it wasn't like those 5-4 games on walk-offs. It was those pitching games and that fielding that really just got the Cougars over.
Yeah, definitely. In terms of key players who showed up in the championship series, who kind of popped out to y'all?
Championship series, probably AJ. I mean, he literally carried in the pitching department for us, but he got us the wins. So, for the ML, I'd say I think Broken, when he pitched that game, was that Game 4? He pitched really well that game. Besides allowing that home run.
Yeah, the first inning
once he settled in, there was nothing that NAS could have done to really. He was getting weak contact, and the fielding plays were being made.
Yes.
it was just it was great to see from someone who isn't known for their pitching.
Something I noticed on both sides is that outfielding was very highly valued. Like, very
Yeah,
highly valued.
yeah,
All four of these teams are great at making contact with the baseball.
yeah,
And
and that's
I
what's really
personally, my K rate went way down during this series, and I feel like that's the case with almost every pitcher who pitched in the championship series. And it's really all about making those plays on defense, and that's really where like Alex came in and kind of asserted his dominance as the best outfielder in the Robloxian League, in my personal opinion.
yeah, it was we had to make you have to make those plays, and it's of course it's more you need this in the postseason too, like way more. But if you're allowing people to get hits, like if you're allowing singles to pile up, and then all it takes is one swing from like Darkar to hit one like over the fence, and you're basically it's a blowout. Like there's really no hope once you're down 4-0 in the third inning.
Yeah,
It's not something you want to do in the playoffs.
I think I
definitely.
seen one thing I noticed. And it was what was it? The last series game for NAST and RBC. A lot of fielding errors happened on the side with the Spartans. It was nothing really to the players. There was a lot of just really inconvenient errors that were just unfortunate throws that bounced off the fielder.
Yeah,
Head,
Things that
yeah,
just
hit
like
his head.
happened.
yeah,
I witnessed at least 3 outs that were just like really just luck of the draw, and
yeah,
that along with uh in the first MLCS game, Nas being shorthanded, and if they would have had more of their key players there, how it would have affected the turnout of the rest of the series.
yeah.
But on both sides, it was a really hard fought series on for both series actually, and it was definitely fun to watch.
Yeah, and I personally think that this will be one of the closer World Series that we've seen in the RBC.
Not.
Like, I really don't see a way where one of these teams is going to completely run away with this thing. I think we're going to go to at least 6 regardless of who wins.
I'd agree. Yeah, probably.
It'll
It's
be a
gonna be a
long
fight.
series, and it'll probably end up being about which team can figure out the other team's tricks first.
I think it's either going to be, one of those really low scoring games, or it's going to be a slugfest, because both these teams can hit. And, it's going to come down to pitching and fielding.
Yeah,
So both these teams are going to be on their A games because,
but
it's inevitable what can happen.
yeah, and especially looking at the fact that um, Mac has Alex and Tortle in the outfield, and then Cougs have myself and Darkar, Broken Elias, and even Jiff the Spider showed up for the first time in the playoffs last game, and he was making some very good throws from left field. So it'll be very interesting to see how the outfielders end up performing in the World Series. And I think it'll be similar to the Championship Series, where it'll be all about the outfielders and not allowing base runners.
Agree. Yeah.
Because, like, the home runs are inevitable. They're going to happen. Somebody's going to get very solid contact, but it's all going to be about how many base runners are on when those home runs happen.
The only thing you don't want to be, I know for either of these teams, you do not want to be stuck with people on base because, like, if what's being said, the home runs are going to happen, and if you have that situation where you let 2 runners on, and then a home run, it changes the whole entire game, and it would have been so much just faster, if they paid a little bit more to the fielding, and I think that's what both teams are gonna have to do to have a chance to just
Definitely.
take control of these games.
But I think we should do a little bit of like a preview of like some of the pitching on like the pitching and batting and just looking at each player. It's pretty close in my, or that's what I think we should do anyway. So, start with Mac. Alex, you want to talk about your team?
Team. Well, I think we're pretty well rounded, of course, to get to this spot. One player who I think is going to need to show up for us. I know you guys been talking a lot about him recently, about all the things that have been happening, but I'm going to need Flacco to hit some clutch hits, especially with how proven he is in the playoffs on that RBC team last year, and really all of those other times he's been around. I know we have a lot of other players too, like Squeaker. He's going to have to pitch great. Torn's going to have to keep doing what he's doing, like hitting in the clutch, and he's literally won us so many games. If he can do that at least once, we will be set up for even more success, really. And I'm going to need to play some great field. And really, I think to really whoever executes what their game plan better.
Yeah. I'm just gonna like talk about. You should do a little bit of on Mac's pitching staff, because Mac's pitching staff is something to be something to be reckoned with.
Well, Squeaker got literally destroyed against Alaska, but he had bad internet that game. I think he was something messed with him. I don't know, but I've been practicing with him. He looks back to his normal self, and I think he's going to go out there and dominate these Cougar hitters.
Yeah. I'll look at Cougs for a bit. Fielding wise, with a depth chart of me, Dar, Broken, and Jiff, I don't see a lot of errors coming out of that outfield unless one or all of us just decides to die. Pitching wise, I've been pretty good this season, I guess. Darkar has shown up quite a bit. Broken Elias has also shown up when he's needed to. He pitched a 7-inning, 3 run game against Nass with 6 shutout innings to win Game 4, which is a very good performance from him. We got Me-Man can come in as well, but we'll have to see how that goes in terms of that. But for the Cougars, the main thing I think is going to be the bottom of the batting order, because myself, Broken, and Darkar have been pretty consistent in our performances so far this season, but it's really just going to be all about how we can get Me-Man back in after his suspension is served, get Jiff, Base, the rookies, and everybody hitting. I think that'll just make a big difference in the World Series, just to see how those go.
Yeah, I think getting Me-Man's pretty big for you guys. I don't know how he got up to the level he's at now, but he made a huge adjustment, and he's really been a big part. He was a good when we played him in that series after the All-Star break. He was a big part of, like, he was annoying. Like, he would literally go full count, and then he was a tough at bat.
Yeah.
He's someone that's going to be good for you guys to have back.
Definitely. Parker, what do you think about these key players in the series?
I've seen it happen where you have these key players that go into these matchups, and they're they're very, very just like looked upon, and sometimes they can't show out, and unfortunately it happens to the best of them. But in this case, I think if everybody kind of stays on that train of just we need to do these things to win these games, I think people will understand that it is going to be a very hard-fought match between both of these teams, because they both have strong teams that are bound to just really turn up at any time, and those times nobody knows. But it will be a grudge match on both sides, and I think it will be a different kind of game that we've seen out of both these teams. It is worth a lot more than everything, and I think it's just gonna it's going to be a really, really well played game on both sides.
Yeah, I agree with basically all of that. Looking at previous championship winners on the Knights, we have head coach AJ, who has won 2 rings in a row. Alex, were you on Omaha for both of those?
Hit 2 home runs, yes.
Yeah, so we got the head coach and team owner have both won the last 2 World Series. Tornado has never won a ring. I don't know if Flacco has, but we definitely have some championship experience on the Knights.
That goes
As
0 for
opposed to
6,
the
I think.
Cougars, myself, I have never won a ring. Broken won either the last one or the
Omaha,
last
he won
2
on
was
Omaha. Yeah.
And I'm not sure about the rest, but I noticed significantly less just ring experience as a whole from Rock Valley. That could come into play. That could just make MAK much more clutch, I suppose, but we'll have to see if that comes anywhere into play during the series.
Yeah, well, I think really the championship experience is going to come in big for like me and AJ, for like the coaches. When we make those decisions, we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And why we're doing it. But of course, to your own credit, you've been there. You already know.
Yeah.
I think both of these staffs they're ready and they're going to make the right decisions to win these games.
Definitely. Yeah, both of these teams definitely have tons of tools to win. It's just going to be how they show out and how they're used by the coaches.
I think there's going to be a few a few players who didn't hit as well in those other series, but I think they're going to some of these players that you really just don't hear of every day, that aren't household names, they're going to come in and they're going to have a good series.
Yeah,
and
they come out
games.
every series, especially in the World Series.
Every series.
Sometimes you get like a 2-star comes out and just is MVP. It's rare, but it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Like we could see Base, or we could see Twirtle or Cyber SF or Tornado come out and just
even I'd say 22 fan maybe.
Just maybe even 22 fan just completely kill it in the World Series and just be trash in the regular season. Who knows? Even Broken last season in the regular season was a average, below average kind of place, and then he ended up hitting the walk-off home run to seal it for the Flyers.
Yeah, that was clutch.
Yeah, but it'll just all have to be. We'll just have to see, really.
Yeah, it's going to be very. I can't say it enough. It's going to be very interesting to see what we're going to do in that.
Yeah. We have any questions in the chat yet? Feel free to send those questions in once you think them.
I gotta mention something real quick. AJ did some math. Apparently, he's won his last 12 games pitching. I think that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is pretty impressive.
I don't know, just impressive.
Yeah.
On ESPN RBC.
Opinion on ESPN RBC.
Already
no
dead.
comment.
It's already dead.
We'll let the public decide what they think about ESPN RBC once they start putting out content. That's all I have to say on that matter.
Earlier question to me: how do you think Tornado did in the RLCS? Good clutch walk-offs, good stuff, solid hitting, nothing out of the norm for you. You just won us some games and really just hit well. All right.
Yeah. You have a league suggestion. Coming from my perspective, this will be a good matchup based on all players on both teams. Probably will come down to pitching talent. That's, I
probably
believe,
true.
Is that Hi Josh? Yeah, that's Hi Josh. I agree, Hi Josh. You shared it in. Yeah, go for it, Cyber. Love to hear it.
I think we said that earlier about both of the championship series, but it was a little more hitting and fielding. It was more fielding, honestly, than anything else. But it could just be batting this time. But it just depends on what happens, of course. But Oh, his suggestion was Cyber earlier he suggested that the RBC has brand sponsors.
I mean, the hoodies already have Nike stuff on them, so like, I guess that kind of counts. But I could see potentially that coming into play. Somebody said Team Bats. We had that in the past, and it was kind of tacky, but
Tacky.
yeah. I
Painting
mean,
your glove with
I suppose
tools.
if teams wanted to have a sponsor, then they could. Like, there's really nothing stopping them. I just personally very much like AJ's jerseys, and his jerseys don't have sponsors on them. At least to my knowledge, I think they have the RBC patch.
Well, always made some good jerseys.
Oh, Squeaker says, how do you think next season will be since it is the confirmed last season? You know, I really hope that people don't take it as seriously and just try to enjoy the last RBC we have. But, you know, we'll have to see how it goes.
I agree with that, but I'm not trying to lose though. But
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm
if-
definitely not going to try to lose. I'm still going to try to put together the best squad I can, but I
it's
really
just-
hope that everyone is going to slow down
Relax.
the tryhard a little bit and just enjoy playing.
From you, really?
Yes, coming from me, I will even reduce my tryharding next season, regardless of whether I win this World Series or not.
I'm gonna come back to this podcast in a few months.
Okay.
Don't worry.
So Parker had to leave, but I'm going to do a quick little interview with a Spartans player who wished to come on, NLJ04.
Good luck with that.
Squeaker, do you have any ideas of starting a new league using RBC tools? I mean, before I get to NLJ's thing, I got a job, and it's like at a baseball stadium, so my nights over the summer are going to be packed. And I know RBC is going to happen over the summer, but going into the fall, I have lots of stuff going on. So me personally starting a new league is not feasible until like summer of 2021, realistically. And I would not use RBC tools. I would likely use modified old gen tools because those are public access.
Trash.
I might pull out my real gen project that I had a while back. But as of right now, I'm just focusing on RBC, and I feel like you all should too until the day is here. Alright, welcome NLJ.
Hey,
So, a very close and well-fought series. What were your thoughts on the series as a whole, to start?
it was a good series. Wish we could have made it to the World Series, but you know, our team made crucial mistakes, and we couldn't capitalize on our opportunity. I'm not gonna get into details, but there's people who get under my skin a lot.
Okay. What do you think the Spartans could have done differently? In the
Make less errors.
less errors.
And,
You think a lot of it came down to which team made fewer errors?
Yeah, we made like 4 when I could see.
Okay.
And that one time where the ball went when I threw it and the ball went through his glove, you know.
Oh,
If that
I mean,
happened,
your
Tool
commission.
errors, yeah, tool errors just kind of happen, and both
the
teams,
tool
all
error
teams
the
experience
tool errors made us lose. The tool errors literally made us lose.
Your owner is the commissioner, and he makes the game. So go ask him. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. The RBC tools have been kind of strange. So okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a little comment on the gloves real quick. The hitbox for the gloves seems to be far closer to the actual glove model than the body. So if you run at the ball with your left side, you're not going to get it.
I didn't understand that because he was right on the base and the ball like went through him. Like,
Yeah,
it was
sometimes
weird.
people
and,
with bad
and
internet
right, and right
connections
into
can
the
just kinda-
dugout, right into the dugout.
Yeah, I really don't know. It's just
I mean, it kind of fucks you over, you know. We could have won the game probably.
yeah, and tool errors happen to both teams. Both teams had the weird thing where it just kind of spun out of the way after hitting the ground.
Yeah.
It's just something that is out of our control, and we just have to be able to just try to deal with how the tools work.
Yeah,
Are there
but-
any other comments you'd like to make before we move along, NLJ?
From what Doug said, I'm kind of sure that RBC's ending next year.
Really?
There's going
Yeah.
to be a season 10, but no
That's
season
it.
11.
He said
That's what
that
you
was it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've
From
seen
what
this
he told
coming
me.
for a while, and I feel like a lot of people have as well. I really didn't expect RBC to last more than one more season, especially since Doug is getting into the heat of his university studies.
I didn't
Yeah,
expect it
I'm
to.
surprised you couldn't pass it on to somebody that like he
No,
trusted.
I respect the fact that this is Doug's project, and I don't think the RBC would be anywhere near the same under anybody but Doug.
Yeah, maybe he'll bring it back someday, but
I doubt it.
yeah.
But I think after the 3 or 4 different shutdowns that we've had in the RBC, I think it's fair and right to have a game that we can knowingly call the final game.
Yeah, well, it has to be a hell of a game, you know.
It better be. Yeah, I'll be really disappointed if it's a 16-0 blowout.
Well, I gotta catch RBC ESPN later, man.
All
So
right, see ya. Thank you for coming on NLJ.
yeah.
Bye-bye.
Right then.
So-
Wow.
Sorry?
All right then.
Yeah. Hi, Josh says, how do you feel coming up with the first game of this World Series? How confident am I personally? Okay. I mean, confidence-wise, I'm confident in the fact that my guys are good at RBC, and that's all. How about you, Alex?
I'd say really the same thing, but I know we can hit in the clutch. Just
Yeah.
saying, like, well, when it comes to those moments, I won't need to use those pinch hits. All my players will go up there, and if the bases are loaded and the last out of the series, if we don't score a run, we lose. I believe in my guys. They're gonna go in there and they're gonna just play their game. Everybody's gonna do what they do, you know?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people can agree that as of right now, performance-wise, MAK is a much more balanced roster.
Oh, I thought I figured earlier in the year you guys had a really strong pitching rotation, but people kind of figured out how to hit Darkar a little bit, even
Maybe a
though
little bit.
I didn't personally, but because last out of that game, oof, God, I swung at the highest curveball, but like he got hit pretty hard in that one game he pitched earlier against NAS. I don't know. He
He didn't
what
get
game
hit
that
too
was.
hard. It was honestly a lot of
it
that
was
game
4-1.
was just very well placed and well timed hits. They still only scored, I think it was 4 runs. I think the final score was 4-2 or 4-1.
Yeah, it was still not.
Yeah, I mean, in comparison, sure, but yeah, I mean, I agree. I suppose.
Yeah.
The whole thing really, the whole process of learning the other team really restarts every series because everyone picks up on different strats and ideas every series they play.
Oh, I bet your biggest strat is hitting the ball to not me.
I mean, I feel like that should be everyone's strat, and I think a big downfall of the Aces was not doing that.
Oh, I mean, nobody else really made a play in the outfield. Maybe like a few plays, of course, went to like left and right, but
Yeah.
like when you aim, you have to go for the gap, not like next to it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they were going for like dead center to the right a little bit.
Yes.
If they would have placed those hits more, like a little better, they could have had more home runs with runners on base.
Yeah, definitely.
And that would have led them to probably more wins because all of those games were really close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as I said before, it really comes down to when the inevitable home runs happen, who's on base.
Yeah, like people are gonna hit them. That's how it is. Especially this season. Like last year, it was more of like a. I don't think it. At the end of last year, it was like home run. Like that World Series got turned into like a home. Like once you started, like you umped that game, and that was like people felt that was going to extra innings. We were just trying to hit home runs, to be honest.
Yeah.
On trying to get someone to third against that Cougar outfield with Dar, Spartan, and like someone else who's probably really good. I don't remember, but
I think it was Reckless, if I remember correctly.
oh no, he quit after a game.
Oh, that's right.
He was good though. He hit a home run, bro. He took. I think he took age. I don't know who that was, but he took someone over the big wall, and that was pretty impressive, especially on the circumstances that he was hitting under.
Definitely.
This is a good player. I don't know why it would go, but
Yeah. Tornado asks, how do I feel that one of the Schlemmers is winning a ring this season? Finally.
finally.
Whether it'll be me or Torn, we'll see. It could be either one, but one of us is going to get a ring this season.
Someone had like a sister who played in the RBC, and then she won a ring before before. Oh god!
Oh yeah, you know what's gonna happen? We're gonna have like a cousin join, and he's gonna win a ring in his first season. And yeah.
Yeah, that would be embarrassing, to be honest.
Definitely.
Like,
it could be both. Yeah, I think we should have a trade. Tornado for Cougars baseball hat.
chips.
And a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos.
Ranch? Well, I like Fritos personally, but okay.
Any more questions before we wrap up for the night? It's been a little bit of a short podcast, but in reality, we're kind of just saying the same things, just because
Can't talk about our own teams. We're the team owners.
we can't give up our strats.
Squeaker, hurry up, type faster. I've heard your mechanical keyboards and all the voice calls. Please.
Squeaker has a question. What's your
Oh.
question, Squeaker?
His question is okay.
How about another interview? Cyber,
Oh
you
my
want
God.
on?
What do you think Cyber and many batters like that have not been hitting good lately? Well, I work with Cyber, but he basically it was a mental block. Like everybody goes through it where you're like really nervous and you're like shaking. Like not severely, but you're not as focused. But once you just get him to calm down, I got him. You just fix that eventually. You learn that there's people behind you that if you don't get the job done, they can.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like a lot of it also comes with pitchers figuring out batters' weaknesses.
Oh,
And I mean, the lower half of my lineup batted worse in the championship series as well. Like, that's just how it is in the championship series, because that's just the first time you face consistently good pitching for a long period of time. Because in the regular season, you're bound to get like
import Suns.
an easier, not I don't like an easier pitcher that like just throws you strikes and lets you get your bats going. But if you just have a period of time where you're facing against Squeaker and then AJ just over and over again, that can be super discouraging if you don't get hits consistently and you just don't feel it anymore, you know?
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Really, once
It takes a lot of mental resilience to continue hitting at the same pace you did in the regular season and the playoffs, just because you have to fight through
you have to fight. Yeah, you have to go through
just
everything.
the discouragement that you receive if you just don't perform at the level that you're used to.
Yeah, I'd agree with that wholeheartedly.
We'll bring on Cyber, I guess.
Strike Force.
The Strike Force is here. Welcome on, Cyber.
Hello, it's me, Cyber Strike Force.
Yeah.
Copyright RBN. So how are you feeling after the MLCS victory?
So I know the Rock Valley Cougars are our opponent. Finally, a worthy opponent. Our match will be legendary. Anyways,
Bet.
they're a really strong opponent.
Obviously.
Their bats, their pitching. My lord, we cannot slack off.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. How are you personally preparing for the World Series?
Well, first of all, a bit of that strike force just became absent during the second half of the season, and that carried on into the championship series. But I hope I can bring it back in the World Series when the team needs it most.
I need one into that. I need a bomb like you did against Nas, man. That was crazy. Like, I saw you hit that home run. I was like, whoa, what?
Yeah, that home run against Doug. Can't believe the last home run I hit was 2 months ago.
All right. Well, anything else you'd like to say, Cyber?
And I also cannot forget to mention the that one clutch home run that I hit against WoW in Game 2 that didn't count.
Oof.
Happens.
Still hurts. It still hurts.
When the Spartans got 2 home runs revoked in like one game.
That honestly hurts, and I still feel the pain to this day.
Still feel the pain.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on, Cyber.
Thank you for having me on.
Of course. Have a good night.
You too.
Yeah, good night, Cyber. Yeah.
All right. Real quick. We'll see what Hi Josh is thinking once he accepts the friend request.
Oh, what's up, AJ? Are you
Oh, AJ is here.
microphone available? Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh, what's up?
no, that's actually okay.
AJ, you, we'll bring him on too.
Really in the call.
Yeah.
Lord broken. Oh God. All right.
Let's just. So we got. If he joins the call. Broken Elias from the Cougars is here.
Yes, sir.
Moan and groan
Right.
now while you still can. So Broken, how'd you feel after the MLCS?
All right, if I'm gonna be honest, I played like shit. Yeah, I played like shit. If I'm gonna be honest.
I wouldn't disagree.
Yeah, I played like dog shit. If I'm not gonna I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, like what Ash said, like it's that's what's gonna happen if you face like consistent good pitchers. If I'm being honest, Finkler actually did pretty good. I really didn't expect him to pitch as well. But overall, I'm just glad our team got the win. I hope we just get a second ring. Or I get a second ring. It's gonna be Ash's first ring. Cause old man here doesn't have a ring yet. Just need to point that out, right? But yeah, overall, I hope we have a good series against MAK, and yeah.
All right. Thanks, Broken.
No problem, Daddy.
You think you're ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready. But I think the biggest challenges that we have to face in MAK is Squeak's pitching, or the pitching rotation of MAK, and the outfielding of MAK, because we have a really good center fielder in Alex, and their pitching is one of the best in the league in my opinion. With AJ and Squeaker, they have a pretty good chance to put up a fight with us in this World Series. So I guess I'll just hope for the best, and I hope we can bring our bats out.
All right. Yeah. I mean, good words, Broken. Thank you for coming on.
No problem, Dad.
All right. See you, Broken. Have a good night.
See you.
All right.
Wow. I did not know it was like that.
That did not happen before. Next up is Hi Josh.
Oh.
We're just kind of having a lot of people on, hearing what they think about the World Series. Hi Josh has been out of the league for a bit.
Back for Omaha for a bit, but he never really showed up.
Yeah. And he did not accept the. Oh, there he is. Josh?
Hello.
Yeah, welcome on, bud. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So what are you thinking about this World Series matchup?
Not gonna lie. I feel like it will be a really like good, intense fight. Like in these 7 games, I feel like it'll probably get taken to Game 7 if this pitching goes good for both teams.
I mean, yeah, I'd agree with that. So yeah, you've been around for a while. You even played in the Season 2 World Series, correct? On Aces?
If that was the case, did they win that
No,
World Series?
that was the Spartans' first World Series.
Oh, wait. The Spartans won.
The Spartans
Very-
have won the World Series in seasons 2, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
So you
I remember I took over ownership season 2 over this like one inactive owner, and like I recruited Smogan and Ryan XVI, or no, not Ryan XVI, famous Vixen or whatever his name is, and we went to the World Series.
So yeah, you've been around a while. You've been in the league for most of its
Yeah.
history. So how does this World Series matchup compare to the others that you've seen in the past?
Well, I don't know, man. I just feel like this will be like a really good matchup, but like out of all the other World Series matchups, well, I mean, I'll just have to wait and see how this World Series plays out, man. Because like I've seen a lot of World Series play, and the fact that these both Mac and the Cougars are both the 1 seeds, and like they both have really good, talented rosters, pitching wise, hitting wise, fielding wise. Yeah, it'll just be a good matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to say, Josh?
Nope, I think I said everything.
All right, cool. Thank you for coming on.
Yep, thank you
Thanks.
for having me.
All right, cool. Goodbye.
All right, peace.
So.
Oh, next up is AJ, right? Or
Yeah,
someone else?
AJ was supposed to be one of the anchors for this before he went offline, but he is here now, I believe. AJ, you here?
Yeah.
So yeah, how are you doing?
Not too bad.
How's your finger doing?
How's your
How's my
finger?
finger doing? Still wrapped. It'll be wrapped till Tuesday probably.
Gotcha.
I've got used to it, so.
I'm used to it.
Yeah, I mean, I had to play for a bit with a broken wrist, the tail end of season 8.
I've played now with a fractured arm and a broken finger, so.
I've never broken anything, so very blessed.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
But since you haven't been here, AJ, what are your thoughts on the World Series?
Well, I think everyone's already said it.
Yeah, a lot of people have very similar opinions. For once, we can get all the RBC people to agree on something.
I mean, and I would agree, just with everything everyone's been saying.
Yeah.
Much different.
Anything you'd like to add to what's been already said?
No, not really.
All right.
I'm ready to go 15-0 pitching. That's it.
15-0.
You know.
Oh, what about what are you right now? 12-0?
Yeah.
About 14. Is 14 fine, please? If that's possible.
I'll do whatever.
Something that is fair. AJ is only able to pitch 3 games in this series, whereas I'm able to pitch 4.
Well, okay, cool. Like, nah, I'm just kidding. No.
Something to think about.
Yeah. But I still think Squeak is still at the
Oh yeah,
same
Squeak
level.
is still
as
an amazing
was.
pitcher, but
If he got his Wi-Fi fixed, so I think he's gonna be throwing like super fast.
yeah.
But I literally can't hit him. So like, sad.
Sad team owner noises.
I know. Yeah, I can't hit my own player, bro. Like
Really hit off of me.
you don't even practice with me, son. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Barely practice.
I will assert my dominance in the outfield. Don't worry.
So we have rumors coming directly to us in the RBN that Hi Josh may bring back these Ohio Warhawks
Oh.
in season 10
Off the stadiums.
after they've been gone for a while now. I don't think they've played since season 4. But that's the only team in the league to have won the World Series in their first season. So it'll be interesting to see him bring that back. If that does end up happening.
That'd be neat. That was always a team with, of course, like good history, of course, but
Oh yeah.
I wasn't really around, but I heard they played a really exciting like style of like they just were insane. Like I don't know.
They were a really aggressive team, very flashy. Lots of big
Very.
hits.
They had a walk up music buttons in their dugout. So like,
I remember that.
I could assume that it was
I
they
would
were not.
say a young AJ did not like the Ohio Warhawks.
Oh, I didn't like him either because they beat me in the RLCS in my first season.
Oh, you got used to it, right? Now it's playing, bro. Sorry, I was cold. But
Before that was sad.
We're gonna have on
Season 5,
one
sorry.
final guest, then we'll do some wrap up. We're gonna have Flacco on.
Oh,
Should he
okay.
join?
Okay, can you stop talking, please? And then
Alright, here. Just gonna do that. Okay. So welcome, Flacco.
Nice mic.
Hello.
Hello?
You are unreasonably quiet at 200%.
Here, give me a second. Let me use my mic.
What?
Hello?
Corona.
Excuse me. Yeah, because sneezing is a symptom of corona. Spoiler,
It
it's
is.
not.
It is. It
No,
is.
I'm
It's
talking
dry
about the
cough,
podcast.
Everyone knows
fever,
it.
and fatigue are the top 3. But yeah, Flacco, you're stupid quiet. I'd recommend moving your microphone closer to your face.
It's right in my mouth. It's right in my mouth.
Turn in your input volume. You're at 200%.
It is.
Okay, while he sorts that out. Got any more questions in the chat? Nothing really.
Oh wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Who are you pitching game 1?
I'll see you tomorrow.
Please. You already know who I'm pitching.
Do I? I mean, I'm going to make a
Obviously.
pretty good assumption that it's going to be Squeaker, but I don't know for a fact until you name Squeaker SP/whatever.
I'm gonna pitch myself.
So Flacco is still not doing anything. He's getting a microphone. He will be back in 2 minutes. So chat.
What about the RBAA?
RBAA. Oh yeah,
Like,
I want to talk
what's
about
the
RBA real
situation
quick.
about
I know it's like high key dead right now, but as soon as the World Series is over, I plan on committing a live on the league. As of right now, I mean, I'm officially the rank of co-commissioner, but yeah, I mean, I haven't had time just because I'm focusing on like life and school, which is
Life.
absolutely
How about now,
obliterating me
Ash?
right now. I'm surprised I've had enough time to even do this podcast and like play my freaking games just because of all the stuff
Ash.
I'm doing. And also coronavirus has helped quite a bit. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, I'm off for like 2 more
You
weeks.
can hear me now, right?
Oh yeah, Flacco's
Yes.
here. Okay, cool. So welcome on, Flacco. What do you think of the World Series? I mean, how are you feeling
know-
about it? I know you're on Mac.
Yeah, I'm debating showing up at all because
Of course,
I'm 0 for 4. I'm 0 for 4. You know, I don't want to. I lost
Okay.
season 4, season 5, and then season 7, I think.
On Boston.
Boston, then Omaha cut me, so I didn't get the win, technically. Shout out to AJ for
That's
cutting
really
me.
unfortunate.
Then I got a chance
happened
to
too.
come back with Doug, and then he cut me, and then and then I lost on our VC because I
Sounds
didn't
super
pick up
toxic.
regulars.
Echo, here's a tip. Don't do things to get cut.
You know, AJ, here's a tip: hit the ball. All right, you have like
Ooh.
batting percentage. Calm the fuck down, bro.
So I got a tip for you, bro.
You know, I have a tip.
How many games have you won this year pitching?
How many games are
Explain.
you gonna need to come back?
How many games? What?
How many games are you need me to come back? Because I carry your batting lineup.
You don't.
You couldn't
Um,
hit at all game 4.
Oh, wait. Okay, I guess. I mean, okay.
Anyway, I just wanted to say when Ash
I
said he
mean,
pitched 4 times, it just gives me 4 more chances to hit a home run off him.
I wish you luck, Flacco.
I won't need luck because your Butmaster's gonna give me meat. Anyway, I gotta go start setting up for the RBC ESPN podcast.
no plug.
Okay,
M5.
Goodbye, Flacco.
As I said
Right.
before, he needs to stop doing things to get cut.
All right. All right. Let's get one or two more questions in the chat, and then we'll wrap up for the night. I think this has been a pretty successful podcast. We've had a lot of guests on, way more than I ever have before, but it's been interesting to hear everyone's opinions.
It's successful for not for having 2 people who are team owners talking about the World
I mean,
Series.
it's been pretty dang unbiased considering.
It's difficult because I just want to like.
I mean, I definitely want to go on a whole rant about
And-
how I love my team and how we're gonna destroy you guys, but I know
I think
that's
it-
probably not going to happen. I mean, I don't expect anybody to take this in anything less than 6 games.
I was thinking about what if like what is is there like a bragging right thing going around the house like if you
If Torn wins this World Series, I will never hear the end of it. Like, I will literally hear about it on my graduation day.
I literally bet I knew once that happened like I literally like I that's so Torn like
Yeah, it
it's so
definitely is.
good.
I'm never going to hear the end of it, but if I win, I won't give him too much grief about it, of course, because as the older brother, I got to be a little bit more mature.
I don't know. I'll bet you'll let him hear it.
Oh, I'll let him hear it
A
because I
bit.
know he would do the same to me, but I would stop after like 2 days.
He's okay.
But why is Flacco not cut yet? Says Squeaker, Flacco's teammate, to Flacco's coach and team owner.
No comment.
What was that?
No
Comment.
comment. Yes.
No
Yes, I
comment
agree.
from the coach and team owner. Okay. Well, thank you all for watching. Yeah, this has been a fun final episode of the Season 9 RBN Podcast. I hope to bring the Season 10 RBN Podcast to you starting this off-season, and maybe even do an RBAA podcast when that starts ramping up, starting to talk about the big rookies and stuff. What is your question? What is that? I don't see a question from you.
Here, I got you.
Who is Alsani Boyro?
I think that's broken.
I don't see a question. Why haven't I gotten a ring? Because I don't need to be... I personally don't... In a league where I have the ability to become a leadership figure, I don't believe in becoming anything but a leadership figure and earning a ring that way. Since I've joined this league, I have owned... I mean, I played on Canapolis in Season 2, but they were like... bad.
They were
I don't even think they made the playoffs in Season 2. Like,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
but
It's
I mean, ever since
Disappointing.
I have started owning in this league, sure I've tried, but like, I don't know, it just tends to not work out in the playoffs. It seems, but I
Another
put that all
chance.
behind me. I am not choke schlemmer.
Yes, yes. That's
But
what we need.
yeah, you guys need clutch. You need a choke schlemmer to show up.
Well,
And I mean, to an extent, I do too, but to the other one.
no. That's not gonna happen. Okay, Torn is literally he is equipped with the clutch gene. He has won us multiple games. I really hope
Clutch summer.
if Torn starts selling, I'm a cry. Okay, like
Oh yeah, we could talk about
He's been the
awards
old-
real quick if you guys want to.
Sure, we can do that, yeah.
And we can go through that real quick. Where's my spreadsheet? I will talk about RL awards for obvious reasons. MVP, despite the fact that he wasn't at 2 of his team's games in the championship series, I'm still giving MVP to Karm. Leadership award. Don't know at this point really.
dog. What?
It's close. It's close.
I literally ran a 12-4 team all season. He literally ran a 6-10 team that
I mean,
lost. in
he
the
didn't show
playoffs.
up until the team was 1-6. So,
But that okay.
I mean, he ended up going like, I don't know. Honestly, I would probably give it to you simply because you actually made moves on your team and Karm carried bag. If it's between the team owners themselves, then you definitely win it. But if it's between like the staff, then I think then that Aces have a chance. But I think individually, Alex's leadership award, Ace award. If Squeaker gets it together in the World Series,
Can't win awards. You.
oh wait, he can't win awards.
Stupid.
Karm, moving on. Dinger award. Actually might go to Torn, just because nobody else who had 4.
No.
Half of the there were 4 or 5 different people who had 4 dingers at the end of the season in the RL. Let me look. It was Alex, Tornado, Bag, and Karm, and the only person out of those who I know has hit a home run is Tornado. And
More
he's
than
hit
4
2.
home runs, but that's cool.
But I mean, it's between Torn and Alex. It'll just World Series. We'll see. Dime award, Alex obviously. Rookie of the year. There are rookies in the RL.
Comparable.
Uncomparable, I guess. He's kind of
Very
dropped off
offensive.
in relevance because
Great
he didn't show up to
uncomparable.
half of the championship series.
You have to admit the skill level. Of
Yeah,
uncomparable.
he is quite good for I don't know why, but watching him in the championship series, I could definitely see the rookie in his playing.
Oh, I don't know. I just think management was pretty, like,
I don't know
was
what the
just
Aces
frustrated.
were really trying to do. I mean, okay, I think a lot of it can go back to Bag's kind of inexperience in owning. I think this was his first season owning, and I mean, I understand all of his coaching decisions, and while I disagree with some of them, I can understand where he's coming from. And I mean, I personally would have waited until I could get my star player there. Momentum doesn't fade away that quickly. It can, but not always. And then Sulgo Award I skipped over because Karm won it statistically, and I don't think that can change unless you absolutely die in the playoffs. But you guys can do Metro League Awards now.
All right, let me pull up the spreadsheet real quick. Sorry, I got it. Of course, MVP. I mean, Juice, you play well, but still, I just don't. The stats are your stats are just too good. So like, MVP is Ash, Sai. I'd say improvement award. Let me see. Probably. That's interesting. I'd say probably GIF or maybe NLJ. NLJ. I think
That's
the
it.
way he hit in the last half, especially, he hit really well.
Yeah, a lot of I didn't really notice NLJ until the latter half of the season. I think it's a close battle, in my personal opinion, between Broken and NLJ.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Broken did well too, but by the end of the season last year, once he hit that walk off, we knew he was gonna be a good player. But of course, he still made some great. He still made a great improvement on what he did in the regular season of last year.
It'll be a close one. I mean, NLJ has always had solid stats. It's just his activity has always been like very spotty.
Yeah.
In terms of raw playing skill, I think Broken has improved more. His outfielding this season has showed up. I don't think did he outfield much on Omaha last season?
He was the left. He was the left fielder. I kind of carried him though, so it's all good.
But
I'm just kidding. He yelled at me a lot though. So
yeah. I think in terms of actual improvement, Broken improved a little bit more. But in terms of like showing up when they weren't there before, I think NLJ has that. But I think the most improved is talking about raw improvement. But it's up to Doug. It could go either way. I wouldn't be shocked with either decision. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
For the leadership award for the ML, I think it just has to go to you made probably the most moves. I'd say NAS brought back a lot of people. Like they assigned some nice players, like Allah. I don't know how to pronounce, but he was pretty. He got it back. He said he was a veteran, but he was a pretty good player for them. Chris was okay, but some of those players, like SpedX Hat was good, but they didn't really show up. Like they didn't show up when they were needed. Like they played well in like games that didn't really matter.
Yeah.
As much.
I
think you got those like clutch players. Like I wanted like Base is good, although he came over from Charlotte, but he was always a good player. You brought some people over, but with the like Amazing B who hit like 813, he hasn't really. Did he play in the?
He went to one game. He went 1 for 2.
Wow. Like, where did he go?
I don't know. I haven't had any contact with him since game 2.
What are we talking about?
Amazing.
Yeah.
He might have just like disappeared off the face of the planet, or like whoever maybe whoever was running his alt account would just like wait, no, never mind. I don't even know, man.
Yeah, but I'd probably give that to you, especially with your acquisition of Meme Man, of what it depends on on what he's been doing, on what he did earlier in the year.
Yeah.
What to get him for was like terrible. Like you traded Parker, but like Parker wasn't up to the same level that like
Parker was very.
That's Parker.
I don't want to attack Parker in any way, but he was kind of overhyped as a player when he showed back up as a player.
Yeah, I suppose. So Doug 42 leadership is aschlemmer, and then Slugger Award. Sadly, aschlemmer again. I hate this. Ace Award. Oh my God! Please no, not. Fuck. 30 inning. Let's see. This is statistical, right?
It's
like
statistics.
This is all stats.
It's not. It's stats plus interpretation. Because pitching stats, there's a lot of stats.
I don't have to say that it's you. Like Juice pitched pretty well, but I think
we need to look at
players.
Doug for the Cy Young. Just statistics wise, Doug had the best stats.
Oh, but he only pitched 17 innings compared
I suppose that's an argument, but I think
you're 30 and then Juice is 24.
Doug and Juice are definitely potentials for that award, in my opinion.
I just think people, top tier players know how to hit Juice. It's like 2 low pitches and then a fastball down the middle.
That seems to be the pattern for a lot of pitchers in this league.
Well, good ones from the bad ones. That's what separates your like me pitching and then like Squeaker. So like,
yeah,
really just. It's really just a toss-up, I'd say. They all you guys all pitch pretty well. Like, I don't know what the pitcher efficiency. Like, I don't even know. Like, it's better when it's higher.
It's
right?
lower.
No,
lower is better.
I'm dumb. Whoops. You've been the most efficient. Doug was the most efficient pitcher, but
yes.
I don't know. It's just like you pitched way more innings than like both of them. Like, because in the RBC, 7 innings is like a decent amount of like 7 innings is like a whole game. In conclusion, for Cy Young, Juice, Doug, or aschlemmer, and then moving on for the
the Dinger Award.
Right next and you've already clinched that one. So yep, aschlemmer again. Fuck. Dymo. Oh my god, why? Why are you so sweat? For Dymo Ward, I think Juice played a really solid outfield. Even though his stats weren't like crazy, because he was pitching, he wasn't a full-time center fielder.
Yeah.
But once again, it's between Juice and you. I'd say this like
And Doug, I guess. Yeah, Doug was a great
and
outfielder in
Doug,
the championship series.
but he still doesn't have those regular season stats. But even though he really didn't play, but it just depends on what. It probably won't be Doug. I don't think he'd give himself an award. But yeah, same. It's the same people. It's the same people for that Guessers or Dime Award. And for Rookie of the Year, there's like one rookie, right? Oh, Rayus.
The rookies are Admin Reus, Amazing B, Sped Hat,
Think-
and the Suns rookies who have a cumulative total of 4 at-bats and no hits.
I'd say it's between Admin Reus and SpedX. The only reason Amazing B isn't in there is because one, all of his stats came against like UPS.
Yeah, they
And
did. All of his stats were in the last series against the
Two,
Suns.
literally nobody's heard from him like what
In
since
weeks.
two?
In like
In weeks?
multiple. Like I think
He's
game
not-
2 was like more than 10 days ago.
I mean, all to be honest with you, like
Yeah,
I
he probably isn't alt. Honestly, I don't even know. Like
even yeah, there was a lot of weird stuff going on there,
Definitely.
especially like, with like even Bag said uncomparable is probably an alt of someone, but
yeah.
a lot of stuff going on with that alting stuff, especially after like Squeak really seemed to kick that off, and then all the people started flooding. Like,
Yeah.
like people were doing alt and stuff. It was weird. I don't know why that was like a
Okay,
phenomenon, but
alting has always been a thing in the RBC.
like not to the extent of what it was this year. Like
yes,
be
it
more
actually has. It just hasn't
really?
been public. In season
Public?
6, 3 of the current board members had alts on teams.
nice.
Just to clarify, I was not one of them.
Who was it? Let me guess. Karm, of course, Jafar, and who else?
If I remember correctly, Peyton had an alt, and I don't think this is in the same season.
Peyton.
Oh, no, never mind. Spartan's not a board member. Spartan had an alt on Williamsport at one point.
Oh, High Fivers, yeah. I
Mr.
saw
High
that.
Fivers, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, alting has been it's been a thing. It just hasn't been like enforced in this way, and that's the same with a lot of offenses in the RBC. Is that it's always existed. The board has just never had the same. The board is much more structured. We get a lot more done, and we're able to discuss things a lot better this season. And
yeah. All right, for Rookie of the Year, in conclusion, I'd say between Reus and SpedX. I'd give odds to probably Admin Reus, but I think SpedX in the playoffs, and he doesn't really have a lot of stats, but I think he hit more. I think he had more than 9 at bats, but I don't know. He's an interesting player that came over from. Pretty sure he was ACBB, but
yeah, I've never heard of him before.
never heard of him either. But the games I went and watched him hit, he was pretty solid for someone who's literally never played before this year.
Yeah. Oh, just to clarify, Squeaker, the awards I put in are the ones that are solely statistics based and have already been determined. Like, it's impossible for me to not win the Silver Slugger, or the AJ award, and it's impossible for Karm to not win it because we got the highest batting averages in our respective leagues, and that's how that award is chosen. Same thing with the Dinger Award. The reason that the the RL doesn't have one is because there was a tie for first, which will be decided by Doug in his arbitrary way, however he does it. But yeah, I think that's it from us tonight. That went a lot longer than I expected.
Yeah, with all the interviews and
Yeah. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to Alex for coming on. Thank you to all our guests. Thank you to AJ and Parker for coming on at points to help anchor. And yeah, we will see you all later. Have a good night. See you in Season 10.